All right, folks, I am with Mike Furey, the defense contractor, and I got to tell you, he's done a lot of work on We Build the Wall with Steve Bannon. He's done a lot of big projects, still does, and he's my go-to guy for everything on the border. Mike, I appreciate you coming on. What the hell's going on with Venezuela? Let's start with Venezuela. Maduro, I see a dead man walking.
Well, Maduro is a dead man walking. The agencies in the United States have the recordings of him directly engaging with cartel senior members. The Sinaloa cartel, 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗃's son, has directly implicated him. 𝗀𝗵𝗃's son is obviously in the United States with 𝗪𝗏𝗪. 𝗪𝗏𝗪 has pled guilty and said he is definitely and directly involved with the cartel activities. So this guy is he's got big trouble. He's got the United States military coming after him because Tren de Aragua has been declared an enemy of the state. And that means no holes barred. And the United States people, good or bad, got a taste of it this week when, as 𝗵𝗃𝗃, the War Department director, said we smoked a boat. Now, that boat was carrying the boats of those size carry up to 400 kilos to 800 kilos. So,
that's enough to destroy America. If it's fentanyl, how that could kill every person in America, just that boat alone.
Look, if they get into a water system in a metro area, if they dump 50 kilos in, everybody's going to start overdosing when they get up and go to work in the morning.
All right, folks, let me just knock this out real quick. While you've been distracted by the headlines, the insiders are getting ready. Billionaires, big banks, even foreign governments are hoarding gold. They know the dollar's being devalued. They know the next crash is coming, folks. So why don't you own what they're buying? Noble Gold Investments makes it simple to protect yourself with the same investment-grade gold and silver the elites are stockpiling right now. Real assets you can hold in your hand and keep safe in your retirement account. Don't wait till it's too late. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com today. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Get on it today, folks. Trust me, it's coming. Mike, so, we're surrounding Venezuela with ships. They're flying, F-35?
They're flying our old F-16s, our second generation F-16s.
All right. So what are they trying to accomplish? They're just trying to say, we're not standing down. I'm hearing there's high recruitment for troops in Venezuela. A lot of people, I've seen videos. I don't know if they're real or not, but there's supposedly a lot of, they're building their militia, correct?
Well, of course they are. The Maduro throws the pesos or the narco dollars out, and guys come out of the fields and grab a rifle. The United States military, I'm sure there's contingency plans to invade, but that's not even what's going on right now. We're intercepting narcotics traffic that is seaborne or airborne going over toward the Caribbean islands to get smuggled in to the United States. So we're covering air and sea without going onto the nation of Venezuela. So we're cutting off not only the southern border, but now we're cutting off the seas going over to the Miami area, the old smuggler routes from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, which got cut off in the late 80s. Okay, now here's the big problem everybody's talking about. With the Chinese getting money laundered back from cartel activity, money coming back out of the United States, going through Venezuela, going to the Chinese who are supplying the fentanyl to the Colombians, the Peruvians, and the Venezuelans to manufacture, along with Mexico manufacturing. They don't have any place to jam their product. They can't get it up to the southern border. That's locked down. We've got the United States military on it. All of our wall contractors that got shut down by the Biden administration went back to work the day after Trump was elected. They just went back to work. So contracts that were in place are back in place, obviously, with President Trump being in office again, day one. And now the Congress is blocking any of the appointed members going into the Department of Homeland Security for the Border Defense Program, which is what it's actually called. So there's nobody there that can let out new bids currently, but they're working with that now to see what we can do because we have contractors prepared to go back to the new build, which hasn't been put out for bid yet. So that's active all along the border, plus maintenance contracts, drone contracts, et cetera, road contracts, because it's a 1,238-mile border. So that being said, the shipments of fentanyl, cocaine, and heroin have to go somewhere. They have to. They're trying to ship in 16,000 tons a month of narcotics, a huge number.
1,000 tons.
The Fort Lauderdale, the USS Fort Lauderdale, had to come back into port. Its entire decks were covered. They had 75,000 pounds of drugs, hard drugs, the cocaine.
People really don't realize how bad this problem is in the United States. I mean, this could wipe out our entire population.
Well, it's a day's work. God bless the United States Coast Guard and the United States Navy, all of our law enforcement partners, Homeland Security, ICE. Everybody's involved, and they've modernized the system under President Trump. So all the activities are together with all of the groups. So the big problem we have is our neighbor to the north. Let's talk about the maple syrup guys. They have very weak inspection points in their Pacific Coast ports. The Chinese are definitely bringing the fentanyl in there, and the cocaine and the heroin, etc., the hard narcotics. They're bringing them into the ports. These are getting transported, and I can't tell you who it is today. I'm waiting on the answer. The minute I get the answer, there is a distinct possibility that this stuff is not only it's coming in from Washington State in dribs and drabs, it's coming in above Minnesota in very heavy amounts, and it's coming in on the east coast of the United States in extreme amounts. Okay, now.
So are they just bypassing the southern border and going through the north now?
Yeah, they're going up through Canada now. They're trying to go up through Canada. Marco Rubio brought it up last night that we've got a problem with the Canadian, not the Canadians per se, but the activity with the Colombians, okay, the Sinaloa, the Chinese, and I just can't mention this other one yet, but I'm telling you, when this name comes out, what group this is, the lid's going to come off this. The lid is going to come off this. These people are heavily involved. I can't say it.
That's fine. But do you think that, it looks like Trump is getting ready to go kinetic in Chicago and in Venezuela. Do you think it's how bad do you think this is going to get? I mean, he's getting ready to send troops into Chicago. They're saying we're ready for war. I mean, they're getting the people there like that, not in our town. What do you think is going to happen here with Chicago and Venezuela?
Well, what Pritzker is saying is, riot this, riot that. And the people are saying the exact opposite. They're begging, please come. We need to take our streets back. We're outgunned. When you have 58 shootings a weekend, it's a pretty rugged town. I love Chicago. I spent a lot of time in Chicago in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
But these are Democrat cesspools.
Yeah, well, and that's going to happen. Every big metro in the United States is a Democratic center because you get your food cards faster, you get your benefits faster. They don't even pay attention; they just process it. You can step up in line, you give them your ID, boom. Here, in the old days, here's your stippet. Now you got a debit card, you got a phone, you got an email address, you got this, you get that, you get everything for free. But that's all being shut down, and the people of Chicagoland, as it's called, they have a right to stop this. They didn't have any vote to bring in all these illegals. Okay, the narcotics comes with the illegals. All right, a lot of these guys, as you know, on the border, they're not coming here to better themselves. They're coming to make money, steal money,
or be activated for such a time as this.
Yeah, look at the poor young lady that got killed in North Carolina. She was leaving work. She was watching her cell phone in the bus, and the guy just pulled out a knife and just brutally murdered her. She didn't have a prayer, So
That was on
again,
the
at least
bus or a subway. I can't. That just happened like a couple days ago, right? Or yesterday.
yes, I thought it was a bus. I could be mistaken. In any event, she's dead. She was killed, very brutally murdered. So, you've got this narco state, and the narco state, it just is, it's being torn apart by President Trump and all his activists. You know, Dan Bongino, Cash Patel, 𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗍, all these people are doing their best and are doing a great job at stopping and interdicting drugs. I mean, when you take out 75 tons of drugs on a week, that's a lot of narcotics coming into the United States. And when that stops, it stops the money. Now, the people in Colombia and Peru, the actual peasants that pull the leaves and also cut the poppies and drain the poppies, I feel bad for them. They have no other way to make a living, but that's been trended into their systems. So they're going to have to figure that out. But now you have other leaders of other nations. The president of Colombia just said yesterday, cocaine's not bad. It's part of our life. You need to get used to it. So that being said, remember 18 months ago, my first show I did with you, maybe 2 years ago now, it was about Iran, Russia, China, North Korean troops in Venezuela doing jungle and warfare training. Venezuela is 1,000 miles from Miami. Okay. We're going to have a major problem. We need to get mentally prepared for it and physically prepared for it. Somebody's going to make a mistake somewhere around the globe soon.
If we go into Venezuela, it could be like another Vietnam. It'll be guerrilla warfare. They'll protect Maduro. But the only way I can see us getting Maduro is a drone strike, maybe finding the precise location he's at and taking him out.
President Trump won't do that. He won't. It's the same as taking out the Ayatollah. We could have taken him out, 4 months ago, 5 years ago. You don't do that. But if his own people take him out, that's where the hedge is coming. You always have
a coup.
a coup, yeah. Well, there's complete discontent in Venezuela. Venezuela was the second richest country in South America until Maduro took over. And it's turning into another Cuba. The buildings are a shambles, no infrastructure upgrades, no nothing except for his palace. His palace is gorgeous. Caracas, take a look at it. 20 years ago, it was absolutely stunningly beautiful. Now it's just like a dump.
So they're following the blueprint of Cuba.
Well, they're following the socialist blueprint, which is the guy in charge that has all the guns, has all the guns, gets all the money. Everybody else, you're peasants. Do as I say, not as I do. And then you got the narcos coming and going as they please. So you've got an upper level mixed class of narcotics.
But you don't believe that Trump's going to take out Maduro? I mean, in other words, there's going to be a coup there that overthrows him, is what you anticipate.
I haven't talked to President Trump, so I don't know.
Okay.
Any prudent individual would guesstimate that something's got to give. We're cutting off their drug supply, which is cutting off their money supply.
Bankrupt.
What do? You get no money coming in, you got a problem. So, and it just snowballs downhill. So you're going to have some people get into frantic positions at the lower level first, the same as the early wars, the cartel wars, when the guys weren't getting their money, and then they went to take their money. Product wasn't getting delivered. Routes got completely destroyed. As you remember, on the first wall we built in Sunland Park, there were 19 visible drug trails. And we used to sit up in the mountains at night before we built the wall and watch school buses drop off 80 people in a bus 10 times a night before we even started to build the wall.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
800, 900 people a night.
So what do you see coming down the pipeline with Chicago and Venezuela this fall? I mean, I've kind of said that I believe that Trump's also anticipating arrests. and that's why he's has the National Guard in 19 of the states for fast deployment for all the hell that's about to break loose. But that could just be a part of it here. But do you think there's even more pieces to this puzzle?
Well, we've got to do something. The Magnificent Mile in Chicago used to be the most beautiful shopping 1 mile strip in the world, right next to Fifth Avenue and Park Avenue in New York. They were just gorgeous. They're all boarded up dumps now. It's
Yeah,
you
same
know
thing
you
in California and every state.
same thing in any metro democratically run city.
It's like
Okay.
degenerates have just corroded this country from within.
Well, it's got another bad hinge to that. It's destroying retail sales. It's destroying the opportunity for manufacturers to put their products into stores and sell those products because the stores are getting robbed and the shrinkage factor, theft, uh, is destroying markets for little guys, medium, and big guys.
So do you
So
think in order for society to get back up and running, we need the military on the streets everywhere right now? I mean, that's
well,
I know that's very
You don't
controversial, but
you don't need it everywhere, but you do need it in the cities where people are, and there are red cities, and the Democrats are right with this. There are red cities that are very dangerous, but the per capita is not even close. Okay. And those cities have been dangerous for years. And those cities have sprawled out. So the inner city's dead, the same as any other cities. When the inner city dies and everybody sprawls out to the suburbs, it just collapses. So uh, this is a big issue. It's got to be addressed, and everybody's afraid to address the elephant in the room. But it's got to be addressed, and the one way to straighten it out is put some federal troops in these spots to stop all this madness.
and that's why Trump has renamed the Department of Defense the Department of War. He's going after them now.
Well, that was a post-war era, World War II, when it got renamed Department of Defense. I personally, it was the War Department. So the Department of War, I believe that our military should be completely offensive. To win wars. I'm in agreement with the president, the president's staff, and all the generals and admirals that run this country.
Like
So,
in boxing, they say a good defense is a great offense.
I, you know, if you're pounding the hell out of the other guy and you're a world champion, if you're pounding the hell out of the other guy and he's not getting shots off, you win the fight.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't go halfway. You don't say, "Oh, I think I'll hit him a little bit lighter because he's staggered." Oh no.
You take him out. You take him
You
out.
know, and warfare is bad, but you have to be prepared. And everybody has to understand the United States is done playing around. And we have to get this economy twisted around. Now, if you want to talk about the economy and they're talking about bad jobs numbers, those aren't bad job numbers. Those are jobs that are eliminated forever. AI is taking over 100 times, 1,000 times faster than anybody thought.
Right. I've always said this. What took the internet 25 years, it's going to take AI 2 to 3 years, and it's done.
They're saying in 5 years there won't even be any lawyers. It's taking over white collar
So what do we
administration.
do? And if you think about it, wouldn't crime spike? And are we going to go on a universal income? I mean, think about all the people that are not going to have jobs. What are they going to do with their time? Especially in the
Well,
inner cities and things like that. Of course, there's going to be military, but people aren't going to have shit to do. They're going to resort to crime.
they're going to resort to a different function in life. A guy that's worked in an office that had an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree or a real estate certificate, and they're out, and all of a sudden it comes to a stop. And you talk to your neighbor Bill, who's got a new pickup truck. Say, Bill, what are you doing? Well, I'm in construction. Well, what kind of construction? Well, I pour floors. Oh, how much you normally make a year? Well, I make, 150, 200,000. My guys make 85, 90 grand a year. Oh, can I come to work for you? Because I was only making 42, 48. And that's what people do in life. I've done it.
Yeah.
I've had guys come and put checks in my face when I was perfectly happy at a job in my younger days and say, you need to come to work for these people. And the guy's like, this was my first week's check. And it was double what I was making. And I said, okay. And off I went.
Of
And
course,
it's
that's the way it
just,
is.
and so I had to reinvent myself. I didn't know anything about any of this. I dove right in, first guy there, last guy out, helped the boss when he needed help. And, next thing I know, 6 months later, I'm running this guy's company, so,
Damn.
people are going to do that. And people are going to figure out a different way to make a living. So, this is going to be a generational change. It's explosive. It's people have had a grasp on it. It's taken me a good year of study with some other stuff that we're working on that you're aware of, to realize just how big this truly is. And this generational change is huge. And I think that people are going to grasp it, and it's going to be really enjoyable.
Mike, everything's changing, man. I mean, AI is changing everything. I call the younger generation that's after Gen Z, Gen artificial intelligence, Generation AI. I mean, they call them Generation Alpha. But listen to this. I've been researching statistics because I was going to do a show on it. But the whole landscape of society has changed. Like, not only are real estate retail businesses shutting down from crime and this and that, but also kids are not going, like the younger generations of the 20 and 25-year-olds are not going to clubs and bars like the generations previous. Like, so if you go to a bar now or clubs, it's going to be mainly 30 and up or 28 and up. The younger generations are on their phone. They're saying they're more health conscious, that they're not drinking as much, but I don't know if I believe that part of it, but I think there's just everyone's trapped on this damn thing. And so add AI into that. Where the hell is this going? It's like an alien civilization that's coming upon us. This is going to be so foreign to all of us that are over 30, 35 years old that we're not going to recognize this next generation coming up.
Albert Einstein said that technology will get advanced so far one day that it'll breed a nation. And that's what we have.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
These
20-year-olds, 25-year-olds that they just have tiny little hands. Their necks are already forming forward. I mean, they've got no power. They've got no raw strength. They've got no animalistic tendency.
Testosterone. The men are like weak.
They got no juice at all. So nobody's going to the bars and clubs. Girls are going, what's going on?
That primal drive to like breed and like meet and mate and like meet the opposite sex is not there, or what?
Well, it's all over the internet. You get all these girls saying, these guys are pansies. I want a real man. Then when they find a real man that drives an older truck, they don't want to date him. They want the guy with the Lamborghini. Then you've got 10% of the women under 25 in the United States are on OnlyFans.
Yeah. Strip clubs are suffering.
Booze is declining. Alcohol is declining in the United States.
Which means social interaction is declining. People think, people are just more health conscious. I don't think that's it. I think social interaction is declining.
Look, I was in the generational change when there were little local bars and you'd go to meet the girls on Friday night when you had your paycheck, or you went to the movies or to the mall. There was always interaction and activity. And then came along the Chili's and the Applebee's, and those stores blew up all across the nation. Another spot for people to mingle, start relationships, etc. Now it's plunging the other way. It's the whole landscape's different. Look at Hooters. It went Chapter 11. How the hell did that happen?
Makes no sense, man. It's crazy. It's like we're going to these uncharted waters without a compass, and I don't even know what to make of it. It's scary, man.
Everybody's buying AI dolls, I guess. And
nobody even thinks for themselves. Everyone just uses. I use ChatGPT like crazy. I'm like, damn. I mean, I can't stop myself. And imagine being raised on this.
I do things where ChatGPT, Grok, all those. They're like, I can't give you that answer because I'm in a different. In a different world, and it's like I can't answer that. You could say what's 2 + 2 - -4 + 8. And the thing will be, it'll give you the answer. But when you're into technical stuff and stuff that no one's done before and stuff that takes initiative, these things do not apply. And if you think we're putting anything that we do online ever, you're clearly mistaken. I deal with millionaires, billionaires, hundredaires, okay? We don't put anything we're doing on the internet ever, ever, ever. We have nothing plugged into the walls. Nobody will ever see prints, plans, nothing. Okay. Because once you put it out and AI gets a hold of it, if somebody sees your product or sees your idea or can study a patent on a piece of machinery, so to speak, they can steal it.
Yeah.
They can steal it, make minute changes, file for their own patent. So you got just this world that's changing so fast, and corporate security is changing because everybody's online in these corporations, and somebody figured out, hey, everything we're putting out there is being watched. Look at the stock market. It used to be a live show. Now you just got the computer sitting there, click, 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 click.
Yeah. Humanity is going into a direction that I think nobody knows where it's going. I think it's scary. It's scary, man.
Well, it's you have to embrace it as an exciting time. Crypto's here to stay.
Yeah.
Okay. Utility coins are here to stay. Banking systems of the 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000, 2010s, 2020s, they are eroding at light speed.
Right.
Get ready. Get ready for it. People like me, I got debanked the same day they debanked Don Jr. I had 10 bank accounts at 3 different banks. I mean, boom, done. We don't want your business.
Wow.
Yeah. So, with crypto and stablecoin, I'm a big stablecoin believer. The money's not in the coin anymore. The money is in the transfer of the coin. So people are going to make a lot of money if they get involved with that. People are going to make a lot of money if they get involved with that. The nation of Japan, all their banks have signed up to use XRP for instance. They have 3.7 quadrillion transfers a day or a year, annually. And that's just one nation. I think 92 nations are now signing up to use crypto for money transfers globally. Banks in the United States are signing up to use domestic transfers. It takes the middleman out. It makes the bank more money. It makes, it saves the people that are sending more money. The whole thing's just changing.
Yeah. Well, Mike, I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to get this up tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and upload this now. So I appreciate you coming on. Thanks for the update, man. And can I get you on Nino'sCorner.tv to drop some more behind the scenes intel?
Yeah, whatever you need me. You want me on now? That's fine.
Yeah, could you jump on Nino'sCorner.tv and just tell me what you're hearing behind the scenes?
Yeah, do I have to do the
Yeah, I'm going to send you another link right now. Oh, do you want to tell people where you're at or no?
No, I'm not.
Okay, stay with me.
I'm not prepared for that yet, and hopefully you'll be involved with that, and we're gonna have a big party.
All right, cool. Thank you.